Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Neoliberal Round. I am Ronaldo Mackenzie. I have so much to talk about today, but today is a quick story because if you have been following my blogs and my posts, and I post and blog a lot about different issues, but lately I've been talking a lot about what's going on in Ukraine with the Russian war, and I have access to news outlets and to platforms that gives me up to the minute news about what's going on in Russia on the ground, and I have been submitting and releasing a lot of videos and articles on my blogs, on my LinkedIn and social media pages about what's going on. And I've been getting a lot of views. I've never gotten so many views before, but thank you guys so much for watching and for listening and paying attention. So I have a blog, ronaldocmackenzie.blogspot.com. And if you look at, I have a lot of breaking stories there. So, say for example, on the 2nd of March 2022 at 6:11, I posted, "Today was the most difficult day for the city since the beginning of the war." And I actually have a video. I have a YouTube video that I posted and I translated from English, of the mayor of Vadim Bochenko, or Mariupol, said today was the most difficult day, that was March 2, for the city since the beginning of the war. The main thesis of his address in the original language was that, one, today we all just wanted to be destroyed. But our esteemed armed forces of Ukraine, the National Guard, and the Azov regiment gave a worthy rebuff to those who fired on our homes. Critical infrastructure is damaged again. We are without light again. We are without water again. We continue to be without heat. But tomorrow our heroic utilities and DTech will move forward to rebuild critical infrastructure. Today our heroic doctors live in our hospitals and save us with you. And you, dear Mariupol residents, are great heroes. You and I are fighting for our freedom today, for our land, for our native Mariupol. Victory will be with us. Other reports coming in, I stated, was that Sedniv territorial community in the Kharkiv region is on the verge of a humanitarian catastrophe, and they are and asked to organize a green corridor for the supply of basic necessities. The community found itself under occupation. The worst situation was in the village of Chernish, whose residents did not leave the basement for 7 days, and the power supply was cut off for 4 days. And we also reported that another news I have in the Blogspot is that President Zelensky of Ukraine appeals to Jews for help in Hebrew. I said it's day 7, and this story was carried on March 2nd, 2022 at 11:59, and I said it's day 7, and Ukrainians are holding firm despite the bombardment and slow advances from the enemy. President Zelensky, himself a Jew, is now turning his message to all Jews after Putin attacked an Holocaust memorial site in Kyiv, erected to honor thousands of Jews who lost their lives during World War II. President Zelensky to the Jews was delivered in Hebrew, and so he delivered a message, and this is the message in Ukrainian, and I have translated here for you in English. God bless you, a United States. It is no coincidence that I choose to say united. The 7th day of this terrible war has begun, a war in which we all feel alike. We were all shelled last night in Kyiv, and we all died again in Babi-Yar from a missile attack, although the world consistently promises never again. For the normative person who knows history, Babi-Yar is a special place in Kyiv, a special place in Europe, a place of prayers, a memorial site for thousands and hundreds of thousands of Ashkenazis who were murdered by the Nazis. It's the place of the ancient cemeteries of Kyiv. Why turn such a place into a target for a missile attack? You are killing the victims of the Holocaust once again. In Soviet times, a television center was established from the ground up. as well as a sports center. A park was built in order to erase the thematic history of Babi Yar. But why was it bombed? This action is beyond human understanding. Such an attack proves that for many in Russia, Kiev is completely foreign. They know nothing about our capital, about our history. But despite this, they offered the destruction of our history, our homeland. Destroy us all. On the first day of the war, an artist was massively shelled. The place where hundreds and thousands of Jews come every year to pray. Then they attacked Babi Yar, where hundreds of thousands of Jews were shot dead. I now turn to all the Jews of the world. Do you not see what is happening here? That is why it is important that millions of Jews around the world do not remain silent to these sites, because Nazism was born in silence. Shouted against the killings of civilians. Shout the killing cry of the Ukrainians. And that was a story I published in that I took from Zelensky's Telegram page and made available on my blog. And then I published on that same day, on the 1st of March. The 1st of March at 1:33 a.m. I published something called What's Happening in the Russian-Ukraine War. Kherson was surrounded. Russians set up checkpoints at the entrances of the city. So I said Kherson was surrounded. Russians set up checkpoints at the entrances of the city. Night information about the storming of the city was not confirmed according to eyewitnesses. A group of Russian soldiers entered the city on foot just before morning. As of 8 o'clock in the northeastern part of the city, shots are heard. Eyewitness reports confirmed. But on March 1 at 7:40 a.m., the General Staff report operational information as of 6 a.m. on March 1 saying that defensive battles continue in several regions to prevent the enemy from advancing to the capital from the northeastern direction. In the suburbs of Chernihiv, some enemy sabotage reconnaissance groups appeared. They were trying to break into the city, so on and so forth. I don't want to continue, but you can see the article. One of the articles I published was the world has two more global challenges, and I talked about that on a previous episode in this season. But the reason why I decided I was going to do a podcast today was to lift up a very important news story for you, what is happening regarding this war. So if you guys know Blogspot.com, Blogspot.com, I learned today is owned by Russia, by a Russian operative. It's developed by Russia, a Russian developer. So this is developed in Russia and owned by Russians. But this site is linked to my Google and has access to Google. And suddenly today, since yesterday, I have not been able to post or blog anything. And I have a pro version of Blogspot, but it's not allowing me to post anything, any pictures, any photos, any videos about the heroics of the Ukrainians. And so I sent emails, and they told me what to do. They sent me instructions. Blogspot.com sent me an email, and in fact, let me bring it up here for you. I sent an email to them. And I'm going to try and find the email for you. And they sent me, and they responded, telling me what to do. I did that. And guess what? Nothing happened. I signed out and I signed back in. I tried to purchase another pro version. It said you already have a version. You can't do that. So I went to my Google and I gave my Google access. And guess what? I signed back into blogspot.com and I still don't have it's still behaving weird, as if there's an attack, there's some kind of spam or malware associated with it. I log out, I log back in. The same thing is happening, preventing me from, and that's what's happening. And I said to you, that's what's happening, and that's why people were afraid to apply sanctions to Russia, because there's too many ties. After so many aggressions and intimidation by Russia, not just now, but remember Crimea, in Georgia as well, 2010. And in fact, remember they were, when Obama was president, or was it when Donald Trump was president, they had aircraft and they were flying their planes close to American aircraft and to bases to intimidate. And guess what? We still have business with them. The world is so intertwined and entwined with Russia. They are in bed with Russia. After all what that has happened and all of the injustices that Russia, has carried out in the world, the intimidation, the aggression. Russia is still still a part of the United Nations Security Council. They are still a part, and they are still doing business in the world, using blood money. We're still getting blood money from them. We still have, the US is still in bed, and not just, but the world is still in bed with Russia. And that is what's happening. And as a result, they were slow to apply pressure. Now they are trying to apply pressure, but it's so difficult. But look what has happened. Blogspot.com has attacked my phone and applied malware to my phone, and it's preventing me from, and I didn't know that it was developed by, I would not have known until today that Blogspot.com or Blogger News is developed and owned by Russia. And because of that, they are preventing me from using what I paid for, from utilizing this platform to share the news. It was developed by Russian. So I'm telling you, and I'm telling you guys, and of course I'm going to, hopefully I get a chance to reach out to members of Congress and to other very important people so that we can discuss this issue. Google as well. Google has business with Blogspot. Google has to now I understand that Google is going to sever ties. And several companies are severing ties. Google severed ties with what? But can I tell you, up to this point, we're not sure if Google has severed all ties. Because right as of yesterday, I learned that Google severed ties with several Russian businesses. But not with Blogspot.com, who is now attaching malware and spyware to my phone and blocking my ability to access my Pro account. That's what is happening in the news today, guys. Thank you for listening to the Neoliberal Podcast. We will have more on this. We will definitely have more on this. Probably we'll try to see if we could have someone come and speak with us to explain to us what is happening. Thank you so much, and I hope you continue to follow us, and we will have more exciting news for you. Ronaldo C. McKenzie.blogspot.com, and we hope that I'm not sure if you guys will be able to access that, but tell me, I would like you guys to try and access my blogger news, RonaldoCMcKenzie.blogspot.com, and tell me what comes up if you see all my articles and news about Russia, or whether you're having some problems. But suddenly my phone is acting weird, and this is an issue. You can check out my LinkedIn as well. If you can't access my commentaries and my posts on blogspot.com, I also have the neoliberal.com website, but we are also having problem with the neoliberal website. We are also on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, where I put out things on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. And some of this news I will broadcast to you. We will have a discussion on some of the articles I've published that you haven't had a chance to listen to. But continue listening, continue checking back for new audio podcast, and also continue checking my feeds, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and get access to my book. We are having several projects coming up. We have some book signings coming up, and we're hoping to have an interview on the Germantown radio stations, and hopefully we will be on Radio Times to talk about this book, Neoliberalism, Globalization, Income Inequality, Poverty and Resistance. Take care, and thank you for joining.